What's up guys, JV2017 here, and today I'm bringing you something very new, something that I've been putting a lot of thought into. It's called All You Need to Know About, and I'm just going to basically take as much time as I want to talk about this game with you guys in a really in-depth and kind of all-encompassing, all-inclusive, comprehensive look at this game. That's what I want to do. I want to look at every single element that I can think of in my brain and talk about it with you guys. Because I like to talk about games, and why not talk about it, at length and whatnot. So, without further ado, this is all you need to know about Hitman Absolution. So this game was developed by IO Interactive, which of course are the makers of the previous Hitmans, and published by Square Enix. So, Hitman, this is the first Hitman game in 6 years by the developers. And the developers, IO, they basically have made all Hitman. If you go and look at what IO has made, 5 of their games, including this one, this is the 5th Hitman in the Hitman series, have been Hitman. So it's a bunch of Hitman, a bunch of, dark, crude, humor-filled assassin games, basically. That's a good kind of generalization about Hitman, but it's true. It really is. There's a lot of humor involved in Hitman, and I think that's one of the series' strong points. But anyways, we're looking at Hitman Absolution here, of course, and this is available for the PC, Xbox 360, and PS3, so you're pretty much covered on whatever kind of console you want to play this on, the 3 main ones. If you're playing on a Wii U, that's your deal. I don't know why you'd want to play Hitman on a Wii U, but I don't know, it could be cool. Anyways, on to this game. So, Hitman Absolution is, in my opinion, a classic example of a pretty successful franchise with a pretty dedicated fan base trying to pull in new fans, kind of switch up their formula a little bit to appease to, modern standards, make a little more accessible game that more people will enjoy and want to play. And I think that's exactly what Hitman Absolution is. It's a more action-y take on this classic franchise, this classic formula of stealth assassin going around the world, completing contracts that really don't have a lot to do with each other. There hasn't been a streamlined story in Hitman, I don't believe, thus far. And what you have with Absolution is a far more story-based, far more linear experience than its predecessors. Within the first few levels, I want to say a little bit of a spoiler alert here if you don't want to hear anything about the story. I don't think this is a big deal, but you are chased by the cops within the first few levels, and that is totally not Hitman style. It's not. You're never chased by the cops. If you get caught while you're conducting an assassination and you're caught by the cops, yeah, that makes sense. But being actively hunted by the cops, no matter what, by default, that is not something that's very Hitman-like, and it's definitely evident in this game. I mean, there are multiple levels where you are chased by the cops, not just one. And there are several levels in this game. I'm not going to say exactly how many because I know a lot of you guys don't like that. I have friends that are like, don't tell me how many levels are in the game. I don't want to know when this game ends. So, it almost feels like they wrote the story around the fact that they want to have a more action-packed experience. I know that makes total sense. Of course, they're like, we want an action-packed Hitman game, so let's make it action-packed. It makes sense, but I'm just pointing out the fact that it seems like these action sequences totally betray the Hitman style. And I'm not bashing the game. This is just merely my, experiences and kind of my third-person point of view looking at this Hitman game. But I will say some of the police set pieces are really, really impressive. There's some awesome little interactive kind of scenes and, like I said, giant set pieces that really kind of wow you. You kind of have, like I said, that Michael Bay wow action experience with this game in certain points. And it's totally dependent on the story. And it's a cool addition. I really, really genuinely enjoyed those parts of the game. It's just some, Hitman purists may be like, this is not like Hitman at all. And honestly, I just care about it being a good game. And that's kind of what I've felt from this game so far. And I have beaten this game completely. I've beat it from start to finish, and I'm actually just doing a lot of challenges right now, which are some optional parts, which I'll get to a little bit later in the video, that are so awesome. And I really, really enjoy it. So, anyways, right now I'd like to roll back and replay this level for you guys, just kind of show it from start to finish and walk you through some game mechanics, some really basic parts of Hitman, and how you actually play the game. So starting off here, I'm showing you the King of Chinatown level. This is the second level. I didn't want to show you the first level because it's very tutorial-esque. It says, click this button, click that button, and there's a nice lady with a nice voice talking to you. It's not something that's the best to show you guys a level with, but this is a very, very cool level. The King of Chinatown is a super cool level. I really enjoyed playing this the first time, and of course, the last 50 times, because I played it so much to try to get those challenges. But anyways, how do I know what to do? What is my goal? All of that stuff. So first off, in the top right, I can tell that my target is indeed the King of Chinatown. And I'm not doing this, unfortunately, when I recorded this, I didn't do it in a very, doesn't make sense that I would go and do this first. Let's just say that. I just know what to do. Unfortunately, I didn't do it from kind of like a blind perspective, like, oh, I see this and I need to do this. So basically, I head over here and distract the guard by using the environment. I sabotage that, you know, power thing, so the cop was like, hey, this is bad, put the lights back on. And so he had to go and do that. I don't know if he sounded like that, but that's how I think he sounds. So I went up here, and I went up here because I overheard a conversation between the King of Chinatown and this guy in the window. Well, they're talking about cocaine, so I can assume that this guy, dressed in a tracksuit and looking very douchebaggy, is his coke dealer. And of course they're talking about snow. They're like, hey man, I got a package for you, I'll bring it down in a second. So I found that the most opportune time to take out this coke dealer was now, when he was, you know, all alone up here. Nobody knows that I just took out this guy. So I was able to take use of the really cool mechanic that's been in all the Hitman games since the beginning, the disguise mechanic. So you can kill most people in the game. You know, I can't go take out Joe Blow over there and take his disguise and walk around, because it doesn't matter. You know, most characters you can take disguises from, and there are a lot that you can take them from. But anyways, this is the coke dealer, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity to, number one, take his disguise, because all of the cops in here are kind of like bought out. They're dirty cops. They're bad cops. So they're not going to look at the coke dealer and be like, hey, you're bad. And I can go through areas that are normally I'd be trespassing in if I was in my normal Hitman suit. So I got this disguise and decided to meet Mr. King of Chinatown and give him his drugs. So, of course, like I said, I'd be trespassing if I was in my normal Hitman suit in this pagoda right now. But since he knows I'm coming, and since I'm allowed to be in these police kind of areas, it's perfect. And there are a lot of awesome disguises like this that you can get into a lot of areas, and you won't be suspected by most people if you get these kind of disguises, and this is just one of them. So I'm waiting on Mr. Slowbutt, who told me to meet him down there, but he decided to do like a round of nothing, which includes like tasting Chinese food, I don't know, pissing over by the dumpster over there. I'm serious. He goes over there and pisses. You can kill him while he's pissing. It's pretty funny. But with disguises, it's important to note that if I were to kill a cop and just kind of go around looking as a cop, a lot of the cops would recognize me, and this is a core mechanic of that system. Hold on real fast, I want to mention, this is this expensive car that is the car of the King of Chinatown, and I could use that to kill him, but decided to take this route that I'm showing you guys right now. So if I were to walk around like a cop, cops would notice me, and that's the disguise system. If you're disguised as a lot of people that look just like you, they should know what you look like, so they start recognizing you. Then you have to use another system that I'll get to in a little bit. So there we have identified, Mr. King of Chinatown has identified that I am indeed his coke dealer, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get myself some snow because I'm the King of Chinatown and I can do drugs. Essentially, that's what he said. So he's gonna follow me up to the pad. I don't know what happens if I lead him somewhere else. But I'm not going to, because I want to kill him up here because there's nobody up here. So that's what I'm going to do. And there are so many ways I could have killed this guy. I'm going to kill him in a second. You'll see it's pretty glorious. Not really. It's pretty standard. There are so many ways I could have killed this King of Chinatown. And that's one of the beauties of this game. And that's one of the beauties of the challenge system. It will show you that you can kill people in just so many ways. Kill your targets in so many different ways. And it's just freaking awesome. And I think that's maybe one of the stronger suits that this game has over other Hitman games. It probably has just more ways to kill enemies, which is cool. So right here, I'm just going to do it in the I'm just gonna kill the King of Chinatown in a very classic way, just with the fiber wire here. Just strangle this guy. Nobody's up here. Nobody can see me, and just dump his body. So as you can tell, my objective is complete. I eliminated the King of Chinatown, and now I can go on my merry way and escape, and nobody will know the wiser. So that is a very basic way of completing a level, and yeah, I just did it in that way. So, but yeah, there are just so many ways I could have killed this guy. I could have sabotaged his car. I could have hit it and caused a car alarm, and then he would have been like, what the hell is this? And I could have just strangled him there. I could have disguised myself as a cop and killed him while he was urinating over by this construction site to the left that you'll see. I could have pushed him into a fire pit that they were cooking in. I could have... There's so many different ways I could have killed him. So it's really, really cool in that respect. So this gives me kind of a perfect time once I'm able to skip that. This gives me a perfect time to show you guys this score system. This is very new to Hitman, so let me explain it to you guys. So normally, like in Hitman Blood Money, I'd see like X amount of money has been transferred to your account, 47. Go to your safe house and do nothing until you go assassinate somebody else. That's not the case in this game. It's far more, since it's far more story-related, story-heavy, far more linear, like I explained earlier, you're just going to see this kind of score system. I don't think that's the main reason for the score system, but the score system, I think, adds more replay value. That's kind of the intended purpose of the score system. I don't know if it does in practice, but in theory, that's what it was supposed to do. It tells you absolutely everything that you did in the level. You know, you can see I did not get the Silent Assassin bonus, which is strange. I'll explain that in a second. I killed my target, so I got X amount of points. Did not get spotted. No civilian casualties. I did get a non-target casualty because I killed the coke dealer, but I need to get his disguise. So I could have not killed him. I could have subdued him. There's a way to do that. I maybe will show you guys a little later in the future. That's what a pacification is called. That's the very next thing. I didn't do any of those. I completed the objectives, removed evidence, hid bodies, no headshots, silent kills, signature kill, blah, blah, blah. So yes, this is how I did the King of Chinatown, and it shows me exactly what I did and what my score is. So score is a little bit misleading, and I'll get into that. It's kind of disappointing the way score works. Honestly, if you go in and shoot up and kill everyone, somehow you can get a higher score than if you were just to play it safe. If I were just to kill every single person, maybe not get spotted, maybe stay in my suit, I'd get huge points. But if I were to just sneak through, kill nobody except for my target, I'd get less points. And sometimes that can be a really frustrating system. Also, like I said before, like I mentioned a little bit, the Silent Assassin bonus, I don't understand what they were thinking when they made this. I believe that mechanic was in previous Hitman games, and it was basically like I said, go through the level, only kill your target, and get the hell out. That's what a Silent Assassin bonus, that's what it kind of means, in my opinion. Don't get spotted, don't kill anyone, leave the world as it was, except kill your target. It's not the case. There are certain kind of ways that you have to do it in order to get bonus points. And then once you hit a certain threshold, you'll be able to get that Silent Assassin bonus. So even by killing everyone in a very non-stealthy, non-Hitman way, you can attain this Silent Hitman bonus, or Silent Assassin bonus. So I thought that was a very strange system, and I don't know why they did that, to be honest with you. It doesn't make sense to me. Another thing they show you at the end of the levels is all of the weapons, challenges, and disguises that you could have gotten in the level. And sometimes, to be honest, I finished the level and it made me feel stupid. Like, I didn't find anything. Obviously, I found everything because, once again, I've mastered this level, basically. Done all of the different ways of killing. That's what those are along the bottom. You know, you see Chameleon, Evidence Collector, Infiltrator, Suit Only. Those are different ways of completing the level, killing the target. A lot of different challenges, and it's really cool. It adds replay value. I'm telling you, it really does. I don't know if those kind of challenges were in the other Hitman games, but they certainly are a big part of this game. Definitely a welcome addition to the Hitman series. there are a lot of different weapons. You'll be, you'll be at the end of the level and you'll be like, okay, I never found scissors in this level. What the heck? You kind of need to search around for some of the things as well. It's not a huge deal. It's not a complaining point. If anything, it's just more content, more things to do. And what more do we want in video games? So now I'm going to continue on with more aspects of the game. Here now we're looking at the third level in the game, Terminus, and our objective is to climb to the very top of this hotel and do something in the room. I'm not going to be super specific about it. Don't get any dirty ideas, people. It's not what I meant. I can't believe you would even think that. So yes, I want to talk about one of the core mechanics in this game. It's really a big change from other Hitmans, and that's the addition of the instinct mode. So if you hold RB on the Xbox, as you can tell right now, I am in a weird kind of mode where I can see the silhouette of people through walls in yellow. And if it's your target, it's red. If it's a friendly, it's blue, essentially. But yes, instinct mode is a huge part of Hitman Absolution, and it's very much like other mechanics in the game. It's very much like detective mode in Arkham City, which Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, both of them, those are super popular third-person action games. You can kind of lump those in the same category as Absolution. And that detective mode or instinct mode in this game is super popular. And in this game, it works. Honestly, it works. It's something a lot of Hitman, fans won't enjoy, and you can just play it on a higher difficulty. You won't get any instinct, and you won't even be able to use it if you're kind of a Hitman purist like that. So it's totally an optional part of the game. But I like it. I don't care about being a Hitman pro. I just want to play the game and beat it and kill people in cool ways because I'm a bit of a sadist. But beyond just being able to look through walls, it's a little more enhanced than detective mode from the Batman games. You can actually see where your enemies, I guess, are headed or where anybody is headed. It kind of lights up a fire trail of the path that your whoever you're looking at is going to take. You can kind of see it in the top left. I was showing you a second ago. I'm going to use this distraction to get one of these electricians over here. In this level, I'm actually going to do this suit only and kill as little people as possible. There's some people that I'm just like, yeah, screw you, I'm going to kill you. But you'll be able to see how it's actually possible to, get through these levels without disguising. So, yes, instinct mode. So, obviously, I'm using instinct mode here to kind of see where people are headed, what kind of patterns they're doing. I don't know why I didn't go and press this elevator button sooner, but I totally should have. I think I kind of zoned out and forgot what I was doing. But ended up actually going and doing it right here. So, I made sure nobody was looking using that instinct mode, calling the elevator, and apparently that was my objective, but you still have to get into the elevator, which is somewhat of an issue. As you can tell, yeah, you could see that little fire trail where he's going to go and talk to his buddy and talk a little bit and then turn the other way, and I'm able to kind of sneak in. Something is really wrong about these people's eye vision. I don't know why. You'll see in a second. I just hop in the elevator, and then the guy turns around and looks at me, and the elevator's transparent. You can see through those metal bars, but he doesn't even react. I don't know why. I guess it's just kind of a thing. You already completed the level, so we're not going to, make it more difficult for you to get into the elevator and get out. See, watch here. So I click the elevator button, and look, oh, there's no suited assassin-looking man with a barcode that's cut on the back of his head. No big deal. No big deal at all. But anyways, suit only is kind of an interesting challenge in this game. So it's a challenge on every level. Go through the entire level without disguising once. And you can do it in two ways. You can not be seen by anyone. That means you could kill everyone or kill nobody and get through the level and still be in your suit. Or you could kill everyone and be seen by everyone. And that means whip out a shotgun, pump out some 12-gauge buckshot. I don't know. You could just kill everyone and be in your suit and complete the level and get that challenge. So, again, there's a lot of freedom in how you want to complete these levels, and that's awesome, Again, that's still them trying to keep the balance between their new kind of style, their new kind of appealing to the core crowd with this more action-packed experience while still keeping kind of that freedom within the confines of the level. Again, you're going to see me use a large combination of environmental interactions to traverse this level and get to room 899, where my target is, or my goal. This level is actually unique in that you don't have a target. That is something else that is not Hitman-like. You don't have a target on this level. And like I kind of explained earlier, there are some police scenes that I'll actually get to. I have some footage of some. I don't know if I'll be talking that long, but there are actually, parts of the game where you are escaping the cops. You don't have a target. It's just like, don't get spotted, get from point A to point B. So it's very interesting. I had to just subdue this maid. I know you kind of feel bad about it, but this is what I was talking about not killing somebody. You can subdue somebody. You can just pacify them, knock them out, and then they'll wake up later wherever you decide to leave their body or dump them. So I don't know if you guys noticed in the top left on the scoring screen, I pacified her, got minus 65 points for doing that to a civilian, and then I got those points back. It evened it out because I hid the body. So you are definitely, if you're going for that high score and you care about getting score, you're definitely going to want to do that. You're going to want to hide your bodies, and that counts for killing somebody as well, but you get more negative than you get back, so you don't want to kill people, to be honest. You lose more score if you kill people. So as you can tell, I used an environmental, little piece of the world to distract these guards away from this door so I could go through and get to the next level. And that's a pretty simple mechanic, that's pretty... that's how it works across the game. There are a lot of points like that. Something here that I don't know if this has been in Hitman games, honestly, I can't say. There are checkpoints, and they're just little Hitman icons just planted across, the levels on the floor. If you see one, you can just go over and click it, and then you'll show up right there. But enemies will respawn across the level. So if you kill a bunch of people and you're surrounded by those people and you click a checkpoint, you'll still be surrounded by those people if you die and reload and whatnot. So as you can tell, I'm just sneaking through this level. Again, I'm trying to do this very stealthily, kill as little people as I can. And, I have scissors. It's kind of a smart thing to just pick up random items that you see around the world, because you'll get those challenges completed and won't have to play the level again to a certain extent. You won't have to go out of your way to go and get stuff if you want to play the level over again and kind of plan out the way that you play the level and try to get certain weapons. That guy right there was like, oh crap, I didn't see him there. And then this guy that was actually looking out the window decided to not look out the window. So you can jump out windows. Really cool little deal here. I actually decided to pull this guy out just because it's hilarious. And as you can tell, non-target casualty, I got, minus 412 points, but the body was hidden, so I got 162 back. So again, if you kill people, you get less points, as opposed to pacifying. So I'm just going to have to wait for this guy. There are certain paths that you will be able to get through levels that fail safe. You can go that route every single time. Go at the certain, right when the guard turns around and walks that way, you can go that way. There are certain places and routes that are fail safe, and that's not a bad thing. You just have to learn them, and it's fun. It's fun and satisfying if you learn those and are able to consistently do that and get through all the challenges. So again, all I needed to do in this level was go through those 2 floors and get to this one door, pick the lock, get in, and there you go. And I'm completely through with the level. So now that that's over with, I want to show you guys something that I kind of mentioned earlier in the video about set pieces. This very next level starts out with a huge set piece, and I don't want to talk through it and ruin it. So I'm just going to show it to you guys right now. Enjoy. Wow, that was pretty incredible. And just generally speaking, those kind of set pieces don't have a place in Hitman games, but in my opinion, they work. They are shooting for that action feel, and they're getting it. And that was just insane, seeing that R come off and almost hit Agent 47 as he's climbing up that ladder after he got out of an exploding building. Really, really cool stuff, and it's just awesome. I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit to show you guys another set piece in this very same level. Again, being actively chased by a helicopter, you know, going through this kind of bird cage area, almost getting found out by the cops, going from point A to point B. My actual target's not a person, it's a place I need to go. It's just a little bit of a twist, and I dig it. I really do. I really like it. So I'm going to jump ahead again here, guys, and show you one of the mechanics that I forgot to explain earlier with the new Instinct mode. And so right now I'm dressed as a cop, and I'm just going to walk through a room full of cops. At first I was like, hey, this is not a good idea because I know what happens. I know that people will notice me, but there's a funny little mechanic that you can use to get around that in certain situations. So right now I'm using my Instinct. As you can tell in the bottom right, it's burning down. And they actually spotted me. So they're suspicious about my disguise. And they're like, hey, what is this guy doing? You see all those lines around my screen, those arrows? Those are people who are like, hey, this guy's not a cop. What the hell? So basically, I guess that's my cop voice. I decided to go into the environment and interact. And I interacted with the donuts. And there you go. I'm hiding from the cops by eating donuts. Apparently, that's a very cop... it's a cop stereotype, and I think it's hilarious. And I was able to use it to actually get away from the cops. They were not able to spot me and pick me out of the crowd and say, hey, this guy's bad. They just ignored me, and they were like, okay, I guess that's normal. So I thought that was a really, really cool little mechanic there. And now, guys, I'm going to show you the other game mode that exists within this game. There's not just a story mode. There's a little more of a free-for-all kind of Hitman style almost game mode that has a little bit of a multiplayer twist mixed in there. So let's go ahead and look at that. If I click back on the normal story screen, I can go between Absolution, which is the story, and Contracts. So Contracts is kind of like Hitman's multiplayer aspect. You can go in and create your own contract within the levels that are already there within the single player and mark certain targets. It's very cool. I didn't show how you create a contract, but I do show you one of the contracts I do here, which is in the first level, so you're not going to be seeing recycled content here because I didn't show the first level. So anyways, this is a very cool little game mode, and I actually had fun playing this. This is the first time I had played Contracts mode, and my targets, it gives you 3 targets. It gives you bonus conditions, so I have to only kill these targets, kill nobody else, don't be spotted, and also stay in the disguise. Do not disguise. Also, you're able to switch around the disguise that you have to stay in if you have to stay in one, and you can also just switch the disguise to the one that you start out in. I guess it's just kind of a little fun thing to do. Also, you can take different weapons, so it's kind of like they integrated other parts of the previous Hitman games and put them into this one in a separate game mode, mixed it in with multiplayer, and ta-da, you get Contracts mode. And if you guys remember, Contracts was actually the name of one of the Hitman games, so I guess that was kind of their paying homage to the previous game of Hitman. So I'm not going to explain too much about this level as I'm playing it. You guys can go play it for yourself if you have the game. But basically, I have to kill all of my targets with a knife and in this disguise. And I already explained the other bonus conditions that I have to meet. So, anyways, I want to wrap up this video and tell you guys what I think about Hitman Absolution. First off, I think it's important to point out that game developers had to deal with this really annoying kind of conflict with gamers these days. They either think that you changed your game way too much from the previous game and you completely ruined the franchise, or you kept the game the same and didn't work very hard on the next game, so therefore you're lazy, or you just didn't do a good job. So gamers are conflicted with whether they want a sequel to, or just another game in the series to be just like the other games, so it's the same kind of experience, or they want something to be innovated. And there's an argument for both, to be honest, but I think Hitman Absolution strikes a perfectly good balance. And if you haven't played any of the other Hitmans, it's a perfectly good game. It's a really, really fun game, and actually not a lot of games motivate me like this game has to do extra stuff, to do extra challenges. And it's really easy to just jump into a map, into a level, do the extra challenges, and then just get out. You can do it so many different ways. There are not hundreds of different ways to do these levels, but there are plenty of different ways to, kill your target or to get from point A to point B. And I think that's the good trade-off that we get. A lot of people will complain, again, that this is not a very open world setting like the other games. Now, the other games weren't completely open world, but they were bigger. You could go in a lot of different places, and it really feels like this is a more confined experience within that Hitman formula. And, of course, they twisted in the action elements, and I think it really came out well. A very nice product. In the end, Hitman Absolution, I totally recommend this game. And if I were to tell you guys to buy this game, not buy this game, or rent this game, I would say buy. From my perspective, I've had a ton of fun with this game, and I actually rented this game in the first place to play with my cousin when she came down during Thanksgiving, and we had a blast playing it. We had so much fun. This game's even fun to play with multiple people in the room. And it's not, split screen. It's not multiplayer in that sense. It's not. It's got that online, contracts mode, but it doesn't have a split screen, multiple people in the room kind of mode. And it was still fun. We worked together to try to work out, different ways to kill our targets. I know we sound like little murderers, but it was a lot of fun. And honestly, I would say buy the game. Like I said, I rented the game. I beat it completely, but I did none of the challenges, and I had this desire to do those challenges, and I think a lot of people will. And of course, you could always rent the game and then decide to buy it afterwards, but I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say just go buy this game. It's really good, and if you don't, try this out, in my opinion, you're kind of missing out on a really awesome stealth action game, stealth action third-person game with Hitman Absolution. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed this new kind of format. Again, let me know in the comments below. I'll be reading them. And let me know if you'd like to see this in more of a live comm kind of style. Do I talk too much? Do I ramble on too much? Do you want me to get to the point faster? Do you want a shorter video? I'd like to know anything and everything that you have to tell me in the comments below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I will talk to you later. Peace.